Yo, what's up? Duff here. No worries. Car's driving, no worries. Got the P6. I don't think you can see it. Can you see it back there? Popping its head up. Got the P6 in the back of the Tesla. I am on my way out to the swamp. Figured I'm gonna go out there and even though the P6 is definitely not a wheel that you would think would be suited for the swamp, we're gonna see how it goes anyways. We're gonna see what happens. So check in when I get there. All right, here we are out by the county fairgrounds on the Inmotion P6, heading towards the swamp. Not sure what to expect with the wheel that, you know, it's heavy. It's heavy and a lot of the swamp riding is slow, so we'll see how it feels. On the plus side, the suspension I'm suspecting is gonna feel great with all of the irregularities on the swamp trail, but we'll see, man. We'll see how it does. Gonna be a quick ride out there, not gonna go real deep or anything. It's mid-afternoon Sunday, so not tons of time, but we're gonna put it through its paces. This just happens to be the road that I used to do my speed tests on when I lived out here. Very straight, very secluded, but I'm not really geared up to do speed right now. And it feels like I'm pushing against a headwind as well. But even so, we are rolling 40 miles an hour. So I've been doing prep for my anticipated P6 range test. I installed that new firmware that Albert clued me into a couple of days ago. I'll be fully charging the wheel tomorrow. I charged my GPS as well. And I bought an oversized yoga block that I've affixed Velcro to that I'm hoping will give me a poor man's seat if I need to sit for a little while. I think it's tall enough that it'll allow me to do so. I haven't actually tested seated riding on it yet. I guess I'll do that before I head out for the range test. But yeah, things are lining up. I'm hoping to do it tomorrow. Get out relatively early and do it tomorrow. Now on the limestone section of the path to the swamp. Usually has a lot of little like washboard type features in it. See how the P6 likes that. Of course, this tire, the Michelin Pilot Street 2, great road tire. Not the best thing for off-roading, for sure. Interesting, the levels of water here, you can see that over my shoulder. The levels of water are high, very high, even though we are basically kind of in a bit of a drought in our area. So I'm not quite sure why the levels are quite as high as they are. We'll see if that translates back into the swamp itself. I would imagine it will. It could be interesting. More people here than I anticipated on a Sunday afternoon. What I'm really looking forward to is hitting my OG Dunkin' Donuts on the way home, man. Gotta take advantage of that whenever I can. Oh wow. Yeah, this boardwalk has seen better days. Definitely. All right, we made it onto the swamp trail proper. Let's see how messy this is. Ooh, I saw a baby gator. There he is. See him? Right on top of the log. Just chilling. All right, so we've already seen one gator. It's a good start. Yeah, water level in here is high. Really, really high. Like as high as I would expect it to be at the peak of rainy season. Path seems okay though. Path doesn't seem wet. So that's what matters the most. The P6 suspension seems to be doing a good job. So far, we haven't hit the bumpier parts yet, but we will. I was here like I don't know, was it a month and a half ago now, maybe, on the V12S, and you may recall that the path was really, really overgrown. I had just like a little tire width amount of space to get through certain areas, and it seems like that's calmed down a little bit. It's not nearly as dense on the path as it was last time, so that's good. Definitely better than before, definitely. Last time this grass was like up to my knees almost. It's kind of interesting taking this wheel into the swamp environment. I don't know that I ever took my V13 back here, which is or was the heaviest wheel I own. I think this is actually slightly heavier, but because it's heavy and planted, it just seems to be rolling through things pretty easily, and the suspension is taking care of me. My knees and back feel relatively happy despite all kinds of activity going on down here on the ground. So yeah, P6 is doing well. Those are some rather large cypress knees, made uneventful. So those of you that have been on the channel a long time, you've probably seen a number of these swamp rides, with me riding in very close proximity to alligators. And I think some people have the feeling that since I've never been attacked by a gator, that there isn't really significant danger with riding by alligators. And it's funny, this week, if I can find the clip, I'll show it up here on the screen. There was a video that surfaced. It was taken in Cocoa, Florida. That's East Coast. Some guy was on an airboat, and there was a adult gator in front of him, and the guy in the airboat was kind of wanting to get the gator to move out of the way. The gator didn't want to move. The gator held his ground, and then in a split second, all of a sudden, the gator spins, clamps down on the front of the airboat, and bends the hell out of the metal frame on the front of the airboat. He thrashes around a little bit and then he takes off. But man, oh man, yeah, gators, that's the scary thing about gators. They can seem docile, but if they decide to snap, it's gonna happen before you even know it. So don't ever be lulled into a false sense of security when it comes to alligators. All right, so I've entered the loop section, the loop section of the trail. I'm not going to go very far up this way. Just want to go a little bit. This is the section where you don't see many people. Most people tap out before they get to the loop. It's funny, there was a young guy and a young woman on bikes. They just came in here. I guess they've never been here before, and they're all freaked out. Like they went like 10 minutes in, and they're like, "Oh no, we're out of here." They saw an alligator. They were freaking out, and the guy said, "Have you ever seen bears here?" And I said, "Yeah, there's black bears in here." And he's like, "That's it, we're out." So different strokes for different folks, I guess. So unfortunately, even though the vegetation on the path itself is a little bit better than it was last time I was here, the vegetation on the sides of the path is still pretty dense. I'm having a hard time eyeballing the water as I'm riding here, as I'm trying to avoid obstacles just to make sure I don't eat shit. So we'll see, maybe on the way back I'll see something. Okay, I've reversed direction, heading back out of the swamp. On the straightaway heading out of here. It's cool when you come this time of day, the shadows that are cast. Depending on the type of day, the visuals in here are significantly different. And I kind of like coming right about now. Looks cool, man. Boardwalk. So despite this being the heaviest wheel that I've ever taken into the swamp, it was surprisingly uneventful. Even though there's situations where I had to do some quick course corrections, avoid some objects, zig when I should have zagged. I was able to recover, and it feels no worse for the wear. It's it's maneuverable despite its weight, which I've said previously. When rolling, it does not feel anywhere close to its real weight. And the suspension did a great job eating up all of those bumps and ruts and roots. And thankfully we didn't have to run over any alligators. All right, we are back from a 14-mile swamp ride. P6 did fine. As I reiterated multiple times, stable. The suspension did a great job, although I do have a lot of hitchhikers on my gear. Suspension did a great job, despite its weight, agile, and it was a fine wheel for the swamp. If you found this video interesting, please think about giving it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're going to subscribe, you can also hit that notify bell. It's over there somewhere. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. What do you think of P6 in the swamp? Not that a lot of people will be buying P6s to go in an environment like that, but it survived just fine. Big shout out to my channel members. I just checked my channel member list. I actually picked up some recently. I'm up to 26 channel members. I updated the list, right there they are. Thank you very much for your support. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, like I said, my intention now is to gear up for doing the range test tomorrow, and we'll see what that has for us. So that's all I got for now. Until next time, Duffman out. Hashtag swamp. I've made this turn in my lifetime hundreds of times, I bet. Hundreds. OG, it's the OG.
Hello, welcome to Duffman. How can I help you?
Hi, can I get a medium hot coffee with cream and sugar?
Anything else?
That's it.
Come to the window.